All right, Shalom. First, I start by saying all praise to Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, Bashim Kakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. As you can see, the title is Over 400 Declassified UFO Sightings Defy the Normal Laws of Physics, Theoretical Physics. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play the clip and add the precepts as I go.
Congress this week holding its first hearing on UFOs in more than 50 years, where Pentagon officials shared declassified photos and videos of these unidentified objects in the sky. But did they leave us with more questions than answers? That's always what they say in these segments. Theoretical physics professor and author of The God Equation, Dr. Michio Kaku, joining me now. Doctor, great to see you. Thanks for being here again. You know, even the Vatican, speaking of your book title, even the Vatican says it's conceivable that there could be other beings in the universe. So God could have a plan for UFOs as well. Did you see anything this week that made you go, wow, I didn't know that?
Well, before there were 143 sightings that could not be explained using the normal laws of physics. With these congressional hearings, now we have 400 sightings by U.S. Navy pilots and seasoned military personnel that cannot be explained. These objects fly between Mach 5 and Mach 20 times the speed of sound.
Wow.
These objects can drop 70,000 feet within a matter of seconds. These objects can zigzag, creating G-forces that are several hundred times the force of gravity, enough to crush the bones of any humans. These objects can fly without creating any exhaust. In other words, quote, they're not ours, unquote, as stated by one Pentagon official. Then the next question is, if they're not ours, then whose are they?
So they defy what we know about what we are capable of producing. Even if there's something that, you know, the Chinese in some secret location is coming up with, they simply don't have the physics to match what these objects are doing. Does that mean that they are defying literally the laws of physics?
Well, hypersonic drones can approach this kind of capability, and we see them in the Ukraine. The Russians are ahead of us, actually, in terms of hypersonic drones, and they've actually used them against the Ukrainians, but they are unreliable. They're not as good as they're cranked up to be. And also, these UFO sightings go back to before World War II, when, of course, the whole idea of hypersonic drones would be considered science fiction. And so,
right, man. So all he's saying is this Isaiah 31 and 1, man. The technology of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, is far superior than the technology of man, you know. And the Lord just playing with Esau right now. He only showing him a little bit of what's to come in actuality, man. So you can expect more crazier things that, you know, they not gonna be able to explain even more pretty soon, man. So this is Isaiah chapter 31, verse 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots. Talking about our people, the Black Stars, Native Americans, man, that's trusting in Esau. Egypt is America and his system, his military might, man. You know, but not only for our people, the rest of these people, the rest of these people gonna eventually be destroyed. So, you know, it don't matter if they trust in them or not. But it says, because they are many, and then horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. Only the Israelites can seek Yahweh Shai, because the law, statutes, commandments were made for the Israelites, man. No other nation, man. No matter what nation out there, if you ain't of the Black, Latin, and Native Americans, or their descent, you know, or you just not, you know, the Lord ain't dealing with you, basically, man. But it's destruction unto our people for depending on Egypt and their military might, man. Verse 2, yet he also is wise, and he will bring evil and will not call his words back, but will arise against the house of the evildoers, America, and against the help of them that work iniquity. Now the Egyptians are men, and not God, and their horses flesh, and not spirit. See, Esau's horse is his flesh. His military might is flesh, man, and not the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, man. That's why Esau ain't gonna be able to compete and can't compete, man. You know, it says, when the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is helpless shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. Right. So ain't nobody gonna be able to do nothing against the power of Yahweh Shema Shai, against these so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of Israel, man. The angels, according to Ezekiel chapter 1, the angels make the chariots. And the angels are the chariots, man. You know, so they just looking at it from a standpoint of these are UFOs and there's beings inside. No, angels actually make these chariots out of themselves, man. You know, so it's like, give me 1 second. All right, verse 4, it says, For thus hath the Lord Yahweh spoken unto me, like as the lion and the young lion roaring on his prey. When a multitude of shepherds is called forth against him, he will not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. So shall the Lord Yahweh of hosts come down to fight for Mount Zion and for the hill thereof. As birds flying, so will the Lord Yahweh of hosts defend Jerusalem. So them chariots are here to defend the blacks, lands, Native Americans, man. Defending also, he will deliver it, because eventually America going to be hit by thermonuclear missiles, and Israel going to be delivered, and passing over, he will preserve it. So that's what you can expect from these so-called UFOs, as well as them coming to destroy this place, America, man. Zechariah chapter 5 verse 3, it says, Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. Right, these chariots, these so-called UFOs are all over the world right now, man. I forgot the other name that they call them. I think it was UAPs or something like that. But I have to look it up. I'm gonna make another video because I'm gonna catch the Congress. Y'all write this out. Catch the Congress. I watched it already, but you know, I'm gonna just bring out a couple points on it. What the Congress had to say about the chariots. Zechariah chapter 5 verse 3, it says, Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side, according to it. Esau got America by stealing, got these lands by stealing. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side, according to it, right? And he swore by the Lord's name that the Lord wanted him to do it, etc., man. You know, they swore in on the Bible and then uphold nothing of the Bible. Salakia. I will bring it forth, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that swore falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Eventually, America is going to be destroyed. These chariots are only coming back for vengeance because of what was done to the nation of Israel, man.
We're talking about a technology that we're not familiar with, a technology that only recently has been mastered by the Russians and eventually by the United States as well. Hypersonic drones that can travel up to Mach 20.
Yeah, and what you suggested at the beginning, I mean, they can turn on a dime. I mean, even if you could get up to that speed and find some way of encapsulating a being in that craft, you couldn't turn that quickly no matter what we try to do here on Earth, right?
That's right. In fact, the United States military had a program to perfect hypersonic drones that was canceled 2 years ago because they were unstable. By zigzagging, they would spiral out of control and then crash. Well, because the Russians have announced that they have a hypersonic drone, that means that the United States military has revised its program. But just to show you that these objects, whatever they are more advanced than anything that we can feel. And of course, these sightings go back way before World War II, when the idea of hypersonic drones was considered science fiction.
Are we, very quickly, are we getting more of these sightings now, or is it just because we have better ability to track things wherever they are in our little section of the universe here?
Well, apparently the military, the pilots of the military have hundreds of these encounters, but most of the time they keep it to themselves. There's a stigma, the giggle factor, and so a lot of these sightings are simply not reported. Now the military has said, no, you have to report these sightings, no matter how bizarre they are. So watch for it. There could be floodgates. The floodgates could be open as now the stigma is beginning to be removed. That military pilot.
They know that the floodgates are open. See, the government always knew to a certain degree, because you got the ranks, you know, the circle, inner circle, etc., with their demonic selves. But the elites, the Rothschilds, the 13 Illuminati blood families, they call them Illuminati because they're illuminated. They know the truth on who everybody is, what's to come. You know, they don't know in detail, but they know enough to know what's to come of this place, and the chariots and how the Lord is black, etc., man. So they know enough, but that ain't, you know, and they know that they going into slavery. Yes, they do. So, and the giggle factor, you know, people were trained in that to be like that to a certain degree, you know. But anyways, it don't matter. If you ain't of Israel, if you ain't of the elect, then, you know, you're not getting delivered by these chariots, man. And it was funny back then, and through the spirit of power, how about Shema Shad, apostles and their elders on down have been proclaiming this, and Abba, going all the way back to Abba, been proclaiming this, these chariots, etc., man. The prophecies of the scriptures, etc., man. You know, so I'm finna get it right now, because he said, I don't even know what the hell the giggle factor means, but if he you know, Esau be having they code words and shit, so sometimes you just have to look the shit up. The giggle factor, the quality of arousing amusement and scorn, a theory of science which appears too ridiculous to be seriously considered, is said to have a high giggle factor, right? And that's in the urban dictionary, so that sounds like that's about right. But this is what the scriptures got to say about that, man. Because it was funny, you know, it was funny. It's funny. It's funny that we speak on that. It was funny when we were speaking on this and people didn't believe it, and now they're showing up, and it's still funny to most. But it's gonna be even funnier when they start to get into action. This is Luke chapter 6, verse 25. Hold on, give me a second. Let me get it. Luke chapter 6, verse 25, it says, woe, meaning destruction, unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. That's people that got a lot of money and stuff. Eventually they gonna hunger. It says, woe unto them that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Right, man? Those that's laughing at us now going to eventually mourn and weep, because the destruction that's going to come upon them from the famines, the pestilence. The scriptures say the Lord is going to be bring anguish. Let me see. Let me get it. This is this one ain't it, but this is it. I mean, this is it, but this is, I said it wrong. This second Ezra chapter 8 verse 50 says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the later time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride." And that's what you people got to expect in the near future. Many miseries, man, because of y'all pride, man. Y'all think y'all can do whatever y'all want to do, say whatever y'all want to say, believe whatever y'all want to believe. And that's contrary to the scriptures. Hence the reason why these the chariots are showing up, man. So, but I'm going to finish playing this, and then I'm going to go ahead and end it.
Commercial pilots are now free to reveal what they see in the sky.
We have to leave it at that. Thank you so much for being here. Fascinating stuff. Well, the White House not giving up on ending Title 42 after a judge blocks Biden's plan to kill it. That's next.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
All right. With that being said, shalom.